Hello and welcome back. Today we are going to be talking about 5 manga series that I would like to read this year. So I have been wanting to pick up some more manga. I've been reading manga my entire life, since I was a young teen. And last year I didn't read a whole lot. I mainly just kind of had like my main series that I purchase. I don't buy a lot of manga because that fills up bookcases really fast, okay? So I do read most of my manga digitally because it's quicker and I can store more of them that way. And I didn't do a whole lot of reading last year because, like I said, I was pretty much only reading the ones that I was physically purchasing because I do have some physical purchases. But there are other series that I want to read that I don't own, but I have access to through the different manga subscription services. So if you guys aren't aware, you can subscribe to Shonen Jump, the app, for $2.99 a month, I believe. And you get like 100 chapters a day that you can read. And you have access to all of their shonen stories. And then Viz Media, same thing. I believe it's $2.99. If it's not, I'll put the correct prices on the screen. Same thing, but you have access to everything that Viz puts out. Now, if you are aware, Viz and Shonen are like this. So some of the shonen stuff are not on the Viz app. It's because they're on the Shonen app, and yeah. You can also read Kodansha online. I don't remember what their prices are, but they have an online reading service as well. I have access to that one too. And of course, my local library, I utilize them for lots of manga as well, and that includes digital ones because my library does purchase digital manga. And then if you guys happen to have Kindle Unlimited, you can also access manga on Kindle Unlimited. I know I've seen quite a few on there. So those are a couple different options for you guys to look around for reading manga if you guys are interested in all of that. So anyways, let's just get on to the video and talk about the 5 manga that I would like to start this year. So the first one on this list is Sakamoto Days by Yuto Suzuki. This follows Taro Sakamoto, who is a legendary assassin who gives all of that up for love and working in a convenience store. And what ends up happening is some of his past associates and even enemies start to come back into his life, and he has to find different creative ways to protect his family. I have been seeing this everywhere, and like the minute I kind of like saw some of the character designs, I was like immediately interested. And then when I like learned the plot, I was like, a man fighting for his family? Sold. Absolutely sold. It kind of reminds me of The Way of the House Husband, only probably this one sounds like it'll probably have like an actual storyline, whereas The Way of the House Husband has a more episodic feel to it because you follow an ex-Yakuza member who has now been married and he's a house husband. And like it's like funny little comic strip style. So it kind of like gave me reminiscent vibes of that with this assassin giving up his assassin job for marriage and having a family and all that stuff. And I was like, oh, I'm here for this vibe. So definitely looking forward to starting that one. This next one is Dandadan by Yukinobu Tatsu. And this one, I've actually watched the anime for this. I loved it. A lot of people have some issues with certain scenes in the anime, so do like check out content warnings and such. But I personally really loved the idea of aliens and the occult and like like ghosts and demons and stuff like that mixing together, because that's kind of like what it is. Like you follow 2 high school kids, Momo and Okuran, who they're each into like the opposite thing, and they become friends, and then they get tangled up in a silly it starts out with a very silly kind of plot as to like how they end up getting like involved with each other. It does have, like I said, it does have some content warnings involved with that opening plot line, but it's actually, I find it to just be a lot of fun and it's hilarious. But I also really love seeing the connection between the 2 main characters and like their friendship growing and all of that. So it's a lot of fun. And like I said, I watched the anime, so I've seen the first season, so I technically know the story up to that. But as everyone knows, sometimes the TV series is slightly different from the written series. So I will be reading the manga, and plus I believe the manga is further than what the show is. But yeah, that is definitely another one I want to check out. Okay, so for this next one, I apologize if I butcher the title of this, because I'm not 100% honest how it's pronounced, because I am not Japanese and I could not find a recording anywhere. So bear with me. Yeah, I apologize if I say it wrong. But Goku Rakugai by Yuto Sano. Now, this started out as a one-shot, and it follows two characters who solve crimes, essentially, or like a case. Like people come to them and are like, hey, I need you to solve this issue for me. And they solve it in whatever manner that they think is suitable for it, as long as the price is right. And that's kind of the going synopsis for the main series now. But like I said, it started out as a one-shot, and if you aren't familiar with what a one-shot is, that means it was a one-chapter only kind of story, and it got such good positive feedback that they decided to expand on it and make it a full story. So I read the one shot and I really loved the one shot, and I was like one of those people where I was like, man, if this was if there was more to this, I would absolutely read it. And apparently it got enough attention. Obviously the Western attention really doesn't play into what mangas keep going forward and which ones get dropped. They do focus more so on their Japanese audience for that. So we're really lucky that the Japanese audience was like, hey, we like this, make more. So yeah, I'm definitely looking forward to diving into that one. I believe my sister has started reading it, and she keeps bugging me to read it. Yeah, because I had messaged her about a different one that I started that she hasn't started. So yeah, at least, and she's enjoying it. So I at least have that to go off of. Number 4 on this list is for Windbreaker by Satoru Nii. So this is my all-time favorite genre, delinquents. I just really 100% love delinquent mangas. They are my bread and butter. And if you watched some weekly wrap-ups back in January, you'll know I read the first volume because I had a digital arc for it. And I really enjoyed it. I love the spin that's happening in it. So with this one, you follow Sakura, who is a delinquent. He leaves his original city, goes to a new town, enrolls in the school there, and he's like, I'm gonna be the strongest. I'll be the top of the top. I'll be the number one in the school. Because that's like the main, like, any delinquent story that you're gonna come across, it's I have to be the top, the best, the number one in the school. Like, that's always like the base premise, and then it expands from there. But he had that mindset, and then you find out, oh, actually this town is a little bit different in regards to delinquents. The town people do not hate them. They actually love them because these delinquent boys are protecting the town, and they're protecting the townspeople, and it throws Sakura off, and he's like, what are we doing here? Why are you guys grateful for me? Why are you not mad at me? Why are you not judging me? And I really love that flip, and so I definitely want to see where it keeps going. I have also watched the anime. I think I'm like halfway through the anime at this point, which I believe is only one season at the moment. So I'm very familiar with a lot of what's going on in the story. But yeah, I do plan on continuing reading that one out. And there's zero like chance of me dropping it because I've never dropped a delinquent manga before. I will read those suckers all the way through. So that is one that I plan on not only just starting, but I will finish. When it finishes, of course, because I believe it's still like releasing. And then the last one on this list is Kagurabachi by Takeru Hokuzono. And this one is another one that back in January I had a digital arc for the first volume, and I loved it. This is the one that I had accidentally messaged my sister about and accidentally maybe spoiled a small part of it for her. But this one, you follow Chihiro, the son of a legendary swordsmaker, and he has to get back all of the legendary swords that his father made, and these swords have magic imbued into them, and they have all been stolen, and he's on the hunt to get them back. I really love it. There's some of the character personalities and the way they contrast one another are just hilarious. And like that's I just really love when you have like kind of like a stoic character and a silly fun character, and they're partnered together, because the contrast is always like you never know what you're gonna get. It's always something hilarious. And one of the other aspects I like is that the sword magic that these swords have, it's actually visible. I don't know if any of you are familiar with Demon Slayer. One of the things in Demon Slayer is that the swords, they do magic and whatnot, but they don't actually. Like the mangaka had come out and made a statement and was like, oh yeah, the lightning bolts and the fire that the swords do, I just do that for you guys. The swords don't actually do that in the story. And that like immediately killed my interest. And like immediately killed my interest, because I was like, this is such a cool aspect. And then it wasn't true. And then here we are with this Kagurabachi, where they're like, that guy's sword with the clouds, yeah, people can see that. And I was like, yes. So definitely, and like I'm so excited to see like what these other sword powers are, because we've already met 2 of them so far in the first volume, and I'm so excited to see what the rest of them are, because I'm like, ooh, what are they gonna be? So yeah, that's definitely one that I'm currently very much enjoying. So these are the 5 manga that I want to get to this year, start them, read through them, see what they're all about, see if I like them. I probably will. I honestly feel like each and every one of these I am definitely going to enjoy, because I really love a good action manga. Like that's like when it comes to my manga reading, I very much lean towards like a lot of action based ones. So I do think as I progress with each of these, I will very much enjoy them. And I will eventually be talking about them on the channel as I continue reading through them. So if you guys are interested in that, stick around. That way you guys can see what my thoughts are on them. So yeah, that's everything. And, like, subscribe, comment, all of that good stuff. And I will talk to you guys next time. Bye.